Welcome back, everybody. It is February 1st of 2022, and this is episode 38 of What Is On My Desk. So here we are back for another one of my monthly What's On My Desk updates. It's going to be a bit of a shorter video. I don't really have any new products to show you guys or new items, so it's just going to be updates on the kits I'm building. And before we get swung over, I just want to say there has been a slight drop in the frequency of my videos that are coming out, as I'm sure everyone has been dealing with the same issues. Life has been very busy. Work is busy. Schools have been closed. Daycares have been closed. So I've been dealing with kids being home quite a lot more than usual. And with the snowfall and everything else, I've been a bit busier at work, and I just haven't had the time to do as much video editing and getting stuff uploaded as I would like. That being said, I do have a couple of videos in the wings that are more or less ready to go up, as well as I am working on the next RCAF history video, so that should come out on time on the 15th of the month. So stay tuned for some more updates and some more videos out there and some more content. I'm hopefully going to get back on schedule going forward, but there's always that chance that you might miss out on the odd video that I would usually be releasing. So that being said, let's get swung over to the desk. Let's take a look at the content and these models that I've done and see where things are. And as always, my name is Sean, and this is Sean's Aviation. So here we are back at the desk for another one of my What's On My Desk monthly updates. We'll just jump right into it, take a quick look at these the progress on these models. As I mentioned, been working on them quite a bit. Might not actually look like there's been a lot done, but there's been a lot of sort of behind the scenes background work and prep work that's gone into things. So I'm going to start right off the bat with the C119 that my father had asked me to paint, and I did. I finally got it done. So this is the C119. It is the Italary kit, 1/72. He wanted it done in Alclad, and I do Alclad. He does not, so I did it up in Alclad. So that is the C119, completely painted in Alclad aluminum. Basically, it was a lot of prep work. There's about 8 steps to get because you got to do section by section. Paint a little bit of black primer, wait for it to dry, paint the next, paint the next, paint the next. You don't want to be grabbing where it's wet. You want to make sure it's nice and hard. Plus, I don't have a lot of time to just sit down and do it in one shot. So there's about 7 or 8 steps to get all of everything coated in primer. Let that dry for 24 to 48 hours, and then another 7 to 8 steps of getting all of the aluminum painted. But did get done. So it's all set for him. I then put up a sealant of gloss coat on it just to make sure that it was sealed. So it is finished. I can give it back to him the next time I see him, and it is one less model I need to worry about. So that is that. Moving on to my models. The L29. Again, doesn't look like much was done. I got the insides of the fuselage painted in the gray color. With the rest of it here, I got some of the black parts painted. Again, some of the internal bulkheads, the seats, some little things. Basically, the interior gray was painted. And then from there, with the cockpit tub, I'll zoom in here a bit so you can see, I went ahead and added the decals for the sidewalls, the side consoles, I should say. So they got a gloss coat and then the decals, and it actually looks surprisingly good with the decals. The instrument panels I also did with the supplied kit decals, and they also look pretty good. So you can see when you get the parts together, the cockpit is actually going to look pretty decent once I get some dry brushing and some weathering done on that. So that was all done. I haven't done much else with it. I've been playing around with decals because I am doing a custom decal. I'm not going to show off too much with the registration, but I'm going ahead and working on getting some of the decals done up, sizing them properly, and I'll get them printed out on decal paper so I can make up my own scheme, because as I said, this is going to be a special build for somebody that they're not aware of, and I want to do it up in a very specific aircraft which involves custom decals. Finally, with the L29, again with the Alclad, when I did the I had a bunch of stuff I had to paint at Alclad, which is why I did the C119. So this is the exhaust stack, the jet exhaust for the L29. I painted the whole thing in Alclad aluminum, which you can see here. Then I did the sort of the exhaust end that you would see at the end of the kit in exhaust manifold. And then inside and around the tip here, I painted it burnt iron, just to give it kind of a sooty dark look. So that's all done. Again, been sealed with the Alclad gloss, so it's ready to go. So the next step with the L29 is actually starting to assemble the fuselage and getting all of that together. I mean, I shouldn't say that. The next step is going to be some black wash, some dry brushing, seal the cockpit, and then assemble the fuselage. Moving on to the Dauntless. You can see the interior has been painted with the interior green. I went ahead and did a little bit of detail painting around the side, some black, some silver, some yellow, some red. Picked out some of the details. The floor, again, same thing, painted green. Went through and picked out a bunch of details. And all of the cockpit parts are also done. It's kind of hard to see in the bag, but you've got the radio, you've got the bulkheads, you've got the pilot seat, the gunner's turret, some of the little bits and pieces around the instrument panel itself has been painted. As well, I have a little tiny instrument panel here that goes in the rear fuselage. I still have to, the decal's been applied, I just have to go ahead and paint it black around the instrument dials. So again, we're basically, excuse me, I just have to paint this black, and then I can go ahead and black wash and dry brush and seal all of this, and then it will be ready for assembling. Moving on to the Meteor. Again, you will see I have a number of the cockpit parts are done. A cockpit tub is painted, the insides of the fuselage, which I have taped together right now, but everything inside of that's painted. The wings are painted, the engine bays and the wheel wells and everything that's for the engines are all painted aluminum. I have a ton of parts here, bits and pieces that were painted black, bits and pieces that were painted cockpit green. The air brakes, the gear doors are aluminum. The vast majority of the detail parts have been painted already, so we're moving in the right direction. I also got the engines themselves painted. I'm still not entirely sure how I plan to display these engines. The kit comes with a solid gray cowling to go over top of the engine, as well as a clear piece. Might use one or the other or interchange, though I'm not sure yet. But you can see here, once I remember how all of this goes together. So the engine itself was painted Alclad aluminum. Part here where the exhaust stack would be was painted exhaust manifold. This front part here was painted burnt iron. The tailpipe aluminum, then exhaust manifold. And then around the tip here, again, same as the other one, I did a little bit of burnt iron just to make the back end look a little sooty. This is sort of the intake. It's painted flat black. I got to do part in here aluminum. I'll probably dry brush that, hand paint that aluminum, and then pick out some of the details of the screen for the intake. So that kind of fits in like that. The exhaust stack kind of comes at the back. It's very difficult to hold this without gluing it together to get a look of how it's going to look. But that's sort of that, and then there's this intake part that goes on this side like that. So this aluminum intake on this side will be mirrored for the intake that's buried in here, and then with the flat black around it, and then the burnt iron, and the aluminum, and then the exhaust manifold, and then this goes on it like, come on, it's not very difficult. Like I said, it's kind of like 1,000 little pieces that you have to hold. So that's kind of how the engine looks when it's all assembled. So it's going to be pretty cool when that's all cleaned up, detail painted, black washed, dry brushed, and is sitting inside the engine cowling. I'd kind of like to show that off, so I think I'm going to use the clear ones, make it look interesting so you can see it. Still not sure yet, but again, I'm basically at the point now where all I need to do is black wash, dry brush, pick out some details, and start assembling. So like I said, it doesn't look like much was done. Everything is still kind of laying around in pieces, but it's a lot of the background work that needed to get done so I can start assembling it. Personally, I'm very happy where these are standing with where I am progress-wise. So another, by the end of February, you'll probably start to see some assembly being done and getting ready to do some detail painting. So it's coming along. I'm very happy with that. And I guess that's it for this month. Nothing else really to show you. So it's gonna be a quick one. So thank you everybody for watching, and we'll see you all next time.
Thank you for watching, guys, and as always, if you are interested in any of the content you see, you can access my website at www.seans-aviation.com. You can see all the latest pictures of aircraft and museums and the build logs of all of my current models and past models on that site. And if you're interested in any of this content, please click the subscribe button here on YouTube to follow more. Thank you very much, and see you guys next time.